Welcome to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to be doing a 7200 hour review on this Duromax XP4500. This is a 4500 watt dual fuel inverter generator. You can see some of the specs here. 4500 peak watts on gas, 3600 running watts, 4275 on propane, and 3420 running watts. I've had some good luck out of this. This is a good all-around generator. You know, if you're doing the off-grid thing, or if you're doing the camping thing, you know, boondocking, this is a good all-around generator unless you have higher load capacities. Now, I've used my Lincoln ProMig 140 to do welding on my track loader with this out in the woods. So, you know, you can run a small welder with this. And it's relatively fuel efficient. It holds about 2.6 gallons. I'm typically running loads between 200 watts and about 2000 watts. So, you know, that would be refrigerator, freezer, maybe charging some batteries, or running like the 1500 watt heater that I have. It's one of those, I'm trying to think of what it's called, but it's basically just one of those little electric heaters that looks like a little piece of furniture or whatever, or just air conditioners. You know, the summer it's a little lesser of a load. So I don't use this one all the time, but if I'm using like higher loads, this is the one that I use. If not, I use the smaller one, which is their xp4500ih, which is also another good choice. But anyhow, so this has a little over 7,200 hours. We're getting ready to hit 7,300 hours. I've had this as my like backbone power source for 3 years now off grid. It just sits outside and it holds up well. So around 300 hours, it does have the electric start. You know, it's a push button start that you can see right there. But you also have these remotes. You get two remotes. Remote start is really convenient. You know, if I run these things about 12 hours a day, so I will shut them off at night. You can shut it off from inside with the remote, which is nice. But anyhow, so around 300 hours, the starter solenoid failed. And, you know, they have the warranty there. You know, you can give them a call and get some advice. And then they can link you up with a local service center. I'm kind of out in the middle of nowhere in East Tennessee, so there's not really a service center close to me. So I kind of just left it be, used the pull start. There is a backup pull start, which is nice in case, you know, your starter fails or you have a problem with, you know, the push button or whatever. But I believe the warranty when I purchased this was 2 years, 2,000 hours. They may have changed the warranty. But around 1,800 hours, they gave them a call, told them what was going on, and they said, well, we don't have a starter solenoid available for this unit, so since we can't provide a repair for you, we're just going to send you a brand new unit. So they shipped me a brand new generator. This is about a $1,500 generator because, you know, a little part failed. So wow, how about that? You know what I mean? I could still use the unit with a pull start, but they gave me a brand new unit free with free shipping, which is incredible. I still have that in a box. I have not even touched it just because I was able to purchase a $18 part off of Amazon, a different starter solenoid. I had to change a little bit of the connector ends, but I've been running it ever since. So like I said, 7,200 hours. This thing has put some work in, just changed the oil. That's what I do. And I have one of those, it's like an aluminum style dipstick with a magnet on the end. So I'm going to put a link in the description for this generator, and I'm going to put a link in there for the magnetic dipstick. I recommend that because it's catching a lot of the just fine wear that you're going to get in the oil and keeping it away from your critical parts. I don't know if that is part of the success, because it's, you know, 7,300 hours is quite a bit of hours to have on a generator. But yeah, I would definitely buy this again. If you're doing off-grid living like I am and you cannot afford solar, because, you know, if you want to have a system that will deliver you 4,500 watts of solar, and like we're in the winter here, so with the limited sunlight, you're going to need to have a bit of an investment in that. Now you can also see here, I've got a plug that I just bought that goes from the 30 amp output plug to a 50 amp. I bought a smaller mobile home that I want to start doing some work on and just having another place to stay here on the property. I like really looking to have a number of tiny houses on the property just to move around and see some different stuff, but I should be able to run all of the 120 volt circuits by plugging into the 50 amp RV plug that they has on that tiny house little mobile home. But anyhow, so this thing's done great up to this point with the mission of the starter solenoid failing. Recently the starter, you'll hear the starter spinning, but it's not throwing out, I guess, into the flex plate or whatever you want to call it. So it's going to need a new starter. I contacted them. That part is about $70. I guess that part was not available, and somebody from customer service said, hey, we might just pull one off of a return warranty unit and send you that for free. And I'm like, that's crazy. I'm not really looking to get anything for free, but if you wanted to ship it to me for free or let me pay for the shipping or something. And they said, all right, well, let us get it off and get it in our hands first and we'll get back to you. So I didn't tell them that it had 7,200 hours on it, but I said, hey, look, it's out of warranty. I'm just looking for a replacement part. And they're still trying to take care of you. It's crazy how hard they worked to try and make you happy. There are cheaper generators that you can get out there that have less features. I would say that, in my opinion, Duromax, for these type of inverter generators, they're probably, I'm going to use old people terms, they're the Cadillac of generators because of all the features that they have, like the remote start, the push button start. One thing that I really like from a maintenance standpoint is, on your display screen here, they show your loads, the voltage, your hours for service. 100 hours is when you do your oil change. I just use like a Mobile One synthetic, and I've had good luck out of it. So another thing about the load center is seeing your loads, knowing how much you're actually pulling in the real world, because a lot of these components that you buy might say how much they pull, but it's nice to know how your system's sized, and you can see that display, which I personally find helpful. So some specs about this one. This is actually, they just discontinued this one. I'm sure that you could still find somebody that has like this in stock. They sell to a number of different companies, or a number of different companies sell this product. It's pretty quiet. It's a 65 decibel unit, which isn't bad for a 230, I guess it's 223 cc's. There's another unit that they have replaced this one with. I mean, it doesn't seem like a direct replacement, but it's similar in size. It looks similar. That one is xp4500ih, and it is a 7,000 watt dual fuel generator. A little bigger motor. That one's 320 cc's, but the decibels are actually lower, 62 decibels. Now that one is, I guess, what you would call split phase. It does 120 volts, and it also does 220. I'm not a super big tech guy. The only thing that I don't care for too much about, the split phase is great, having 220 is great, but I think it's only like 23 amps that you can pull on the 220 end, and I think it's like 43 or 45, which is really high for the 120 volts. So if you wanted to draw, like, let's say that you're doing like I do, you have this little mobile home and you want to power it up off the camper plug, and you want it to run an electric dryer or the oven, that may not work so great, but if you had a 220 welder, like a MIG welder or a dual process machine, you would probably be okay running that on there. But at any rate, this is a great unit. I would definitely buy this again. I know it's a little anticlimactic saying, hey, this one's discontinued, but if there's a used one out there that you could get a good deal on, get it. Like I said, I'm almost at 7,300 hours right now. If you could get one of these with 2,000 or 3,000 hours, and it seems like somebody has changed the oil, based on the experience that I've had, there's quite a bit of life left in this unit. So definitely would recommend this, recommend their products. Like I said, I also have the xp4500ih. I run that one whenever I know I'm going to have low loads, like if it's just going to be the refrigerator, the freezer, and some minor things. I'm only pulling, you know, 200 or 300 watts, which is not much at all. I could probably get a little solar system to handle that, which I'm considering doing. But if I happen to be running the air conditioner or the heater, you know, that's going to bump me up in the 2000 range, which, you know, it's not too much for that one, but you really don't want to be running close to your peak watts. Like, I think that one is an 1800 watt, rated for like 1800 watts running. So if I'm running that thing at 1800 to 2000 watts, it's kind of pushing it. So I would just jump over to this one. You know, if you're you know, easy on it and you're not trying to run it at max power all the time, I think, you know, the components are just going to weather better, and that's a good example with this one. So I will put links in the description for this unit, that magnetic dipstick, and maybe this conversion plug. Like, this is a 30 amp 120 volt plug on this generator. If you have a bigger RV or something like that that has a 50 amp plug, you can step down from that 50 amp to this 30 amp and still run your 110 circuits. So I'll put that in the description too. Like and subscribe if you can. You know, I'm trying to grow this channel. It's just going to be an off-grid channel. I'm just doing some product reviews right now because I don't have like an elaborate setup like some of these folks that we like and enjoy. But yeah, so check out the Duromax products. I bought this with my own money. I don't have any partnership with them. If they wanted to do something with me, I would be more than happy to. Send me that xp4500ih. I'd love to have that. That's neat. So anyhow, have a good one, guys, and thanks for watching.